Hello everyone, this is Dr. Speights with Math Videos on PowerPoint. This lesson covers completing the square.
In this lesson, we're going to solve an equation for y in terms of x. Finding an expression for f of x. Consider an equation involving x and y, and assume that y can be expressed as a function of x. To find an expression for f of x, simply just solve the equation for y, and then replace y with f of x at the end. So let's do an example. So here we're given the equation x plus 4y equals 8, and we want to write an equation that defines y as a function of x as given. So all we have to do is to simply solve the equation for y first. That's step one. And then after we solve the equation for y, replace the y with the f of x notation. And then lastly, b, we're going to evaluate f of 7, meaning we're going to plug 7 into our function to see what our output would be. So let's go ahead and begin step 1, which is to solve for y. So the first step to solving for y in this equation, we're going to subtract x from each side. Our last step to solving for y is to do what? That's correct. Divide by 4. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. And y equals 8 minus x over 4. And now that we have this function, we want to evaluate this function for 7, meaning we're going to remove the x from this function and replace it with 7. Do the math so that we can see what our output would be. So our input is 7. Let's see what our output is going to be. So removing the x and replacing it with 7 will look like so. On top we have 8 take away 7, which is 1 over 4. So our output would be 1/4. And there you have it. Finding an expression for f of x.